I'm sure we all know probably somebody, a perfect person. I like to call it a perfect person. They wake up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. They'll spend the first 30 minutes reading the Bible, praying, doing all of that on their own. After they get done doing that, they'll brew the perfect cup of coffee. They'll sit and they'll reflect on the things that they want to do for their day. They'll list them all out. They'll make sure they get everything down to a T. And after they get done doing that, they'll go on a 3-mile run, come home, take a shower, cook breakfast for all the kids, drop them off at school, and still somehow get to work first before anybody else. I don't know how they do that, and I'm sure we all know somebody like that. On the other hand, we also know somebody I like to call the procrastinator. This person, they also wake up early in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning, but their sole purpose for waking up at 5 is so they can hit the snooze button for another 2 hours. So that as soon as they get to 7 o'clock, they jump out of the bed, rush to get ready, and then before you know it, they're running into the office right at the nick of time to get to that important meeting. What separates these two people? What separates the perfect person from the procrastinator? You see, we all get the same amount of time in our days. I started thinking about the time that we get, and did you all know that we all get 86,400 seconds to use every single day? That's over 604,000 seconds every week that we have to make use of. Over 2.4 million seconds a month, and we get a whopping 31,536,000 seconds every single year that we have to figure out how we're going to manage that time. But there is no perfect plan. For anybody that knows me, knows that I hate road trips. I'm not a road trip person. If we have to go anywhere and it's more than about 3 hours, I would rather fly. But unfortunately, I married a wife who, she loves road trips. Her best day ever would be us spending a week just driving from Alabama all the way to California, all the way to Canada, and around the world. And that would just be everything for her. So one year, about 4 or 5 years ago, she had a plan we were gonna drive from Birmingham to New Jersey. And we had, at that time, our kids were younger. They were 5 and 2. Automatically, I said, man, I don't wanna do this. But we looked at it. She convinced me. It was cheaper. And I said, okay. So going back to me being that task-oriented person, I decided to write out the plan. So if we're going to do this road trip, we're going to plan it out. I know how much gas is going to be when we get to the certain cities. I know how much it's going to cost for us to get there. We're going to stop this many times to get some food, and we're going to make it. So we agreed on this plan that we were going to drive 14 hours straight. I was going to drive while she slept. She was going to drive while I slept, and we were going to get there right at 14 hours. That was the plan. So what I ended up doing was I drove first, she drove second. I was the third driver, and then probably somewhere, I don't know where we were, probably around DC or something at that time, I started getting sleepy. So I looked over at her, and what do you think she was doing? Sleeping. So I started nudging her, saying, Ebony, it's time for you to get up. It's your time. It's your time. And I can't remember what she told me, but I knew that she wasn't going to be able to drive that night. So I ended up having to deter my plans, get a hotel, spend a little extra money, but it was worth us taking that time because if I had to try to push through the night, there's no telling what would have happened. So we have to do the same thing with our plans. Set some goals for your life. And the goals are more so that you have something to be able to look back on and check your progress. Having the goals set up, it may be something as simple as saying, I'm going to volunteer, once a month at a local charity or nonprofit. I'm going to volunteer at the school. I'm going to join a serve team at Mountaintop. I'm going to do something that I can tangibly go back on and see my progress over a specific period of time. And having those goals just gives us a way for us to measure it. And we can look and say, hey, I said I was going to do this once a month. 2-3 months have gone by, and I've been able to see if I've been spending my time doing the things that I said I wanted to do.